Nice. So hi people. Say hi. Okay. So like are we good to go? Okay. So yeah, it's not good morning by the way. Anyways, so yeah, so we are with a new journey actually, okay? And happy to see you guys. We are starting 2 batches actually, okay? This is one of the batches, okay? This is one of the batches. We are starting 2 batches. This is one of the batches. This is the full English class, and Monday we have a Sinhala and English mixed class. Okay. අද යනවා full English medium class එක. ඒ වගේම සඳුදාට යනවා Sinhala English mixed class එක. සඳුදා හවස මේ වෙලාවෙම. And like some students have the concern about going to school and coming here, being here at 3. So anyways, it would be shifted to 3:30 or like to a considerable level so that you can come after the school. Okay. So don't worry about that. I'll explain these things again. Okay. මම මේ ටික ආයි කියන්නම් කොහොමද ඉස්කෝලේ පටන් ගත්තම ඉස්කෝලේ මේ මොනවද ගැලපෙන විදිහට මේක ටිකක් අපි පල්ලෙහාට තල්ලු කරලා දෙන්න. හරිද? So let's start. I mean, usually classes start with a huge orientation session. ලොකු orientation session එකකින් තමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පන්ති පටන් ගන්නෙ. But I mean, we'll do the orientation within 15 minutes and start the lesson. Okay. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. ඉගෙන ගන්න පටන් ගමු. විනාඩි 15ක් විතර පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරලා ඉගෙන ගන්න පටන් ගමු. මොකද like by now, as from the 26th batch, we see higher batch එකෙන් අහලා බලන්න. That means the students who are going to the exams recently. Okay, ළඟදී exam එකට යන batch එකෙන් අහලා බලන්න. We are the only class who finished the syllabus on time. We are finishing the syllabus 5 months before the exam. Exam එකට මාස 5කට කලින් අපි syllabus cover කරනවා. එහෙම කරපු එකම පන්තියත් අපි. So it starts with by starting the class discussion from the first day. Okay, පටන් අරන් විනාඩි 15න් අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. මොකද එහෙම නැතුව මේක කරන්න බෑ. හරිද? We can't, I mean, wait until everything is clear. We can't do a huge orientation session of 2 hours, 3 hours, because then then we are not going to be able to finish the syllabus on time. Okay, so we keep promises. Okay, අපි කියන ටික කරනවා. So have to start the class on time. Okay, so with that are we good to go? Okay, so with that then මොකද මේ පොඩි class කරන්නේ? So what's with that? I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer from University of Moratuwa. Recently got the degree actually. Now I'm running a electronic company of my own and doing classes. Okay, මගේ job එක තමයි මම engineer කෙනෙක්. මගේ company එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ company එක electronics company එකක්. ඒකයි මේකයි තමයි ඉතින් මගේ ජීවිතේ. හරිද? So like actually like if you guys work well, මෙතන හොඳට වැඩ කරන ළමයි කිහිප දෙනෙක් හරි හිටියොත්, if you guys work well, you can stay in the 4 years in the university and come to our company. මට දැන්ටමත් ඉන්නවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මගෙන් ඉගෙනගෙන මගේ company එකේ වැඩ කරන එච්චර නෑ ඉතින් මාත් පොඩිනේ 6-7ක් වගේ ඉන්නවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන්. Okay, so we are running a very good electronics company by now. So yes, so we are happy to see some of you guys there. Okay, ඔයගොල්ලෝ සමහරක් එතෙන්දී හම්බ වෙයි කියලා අපි හිතනවා. Okay, we are happy to see some of you guys there. Okay, so moving forward, now I'll come to parents. මොනවාද ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නේ කියලා අහන්නේ මම අනිවාර්යයෙන් එන්නම්. So I started classes at I finished A levels in 2019 and started my first batch at 2020. එතකොට මේ like then we had a small issue. Like, what is the issue? I mean, you have to know this. Okay, මේක දැනගන්න ඕනේ. O level වල හොඳට වැඩ කරන ළමයි ටිකනේ science කරන්නේ නේ. All the students who work well come to do science in A levels. Okay, out of that in the country only 6% get an A for physics. Okay, ඒකෙන් 100%යි physics වලට A එකක් ගන්න. Okay, okay, only out of that all the good students come to the class. Okay, ඔක්කොම මේ හොඳට වැඩ කරන ළමයි ටික නෙන්නේ නේ. All the good students come to the class. Out of that only 6% get an A for physics. Okay, lazy වැඩක් නෙමෙයි තේරුණානේ නේ. අර A 9න් 3ක් එකතු කරලා මේක කරන්න බෑ. හරිද? මේ and I mean you guys must have done O levels very well, right? Students who have a confirmed 9As sure කට්ටිය අත උස්සන්න. නැද්ද කවුරුත් නැද්ද? එහා පැත්තේ කෙනාට 9As sure නම් අත උස්සන්න. The one who's next to me would get 9As. The one who's next to me would definitely get 9As. Quickly. මට එහාවෙත් එක්කෙනා 9s ගනි. That's how we get answers. The one who's next to me would get 9s. එහාවෙත් එකට 9s. Oh, ඉක්මනට. See. Now we have more. Cool. Okay. So all these students, okay. All these students who work well. හොඳට වැඩ කරන ළමයි ටික තමයි, okay. All these students who work well. Are we good to go? So we are shifting the machines. Online students are facing a small issue. Give us few minutes. Until then, I'll talk to parents. මං එන්නම් parents like කතා කරන්න. ඒකත් කරන්න බෑ. So can we quickly shift the machines? Check. Okay. So online students, you can hear us clearly now, right? Online students, you can hear us clearly now, right? Confirm me the message, everyone. Confirm me the message. Okay. So moving forward, I'll check the live. Moving forward, so out of like all these good students who get an get good passes for O levels. Okay. මේ O level වලට හොඳට වැඩ කරන ළමයි ඔක්කොගෙම 106යි physics වලට A එකක් ගන්න. ඇයි ඒ? What is the reason? Why is only 6% get an A for A for A level physics? Because it is difficult. Okay. Because it is anyways difficult. Okay. It's not an easy task. Okay. හැබැයි කරොත් පුළුවන්. හරිද? I started classes at 2020. ගොඩ දෙනෙක් ඇහුවා ඇයි මේ පොඩි එකේ class කරන්නේ? Okay. But we maintained a 50% A pass rate until now. Okay. අද වෙනකන් අපි 50% A pass rate එකක් maintain කරගෙන තියෙනවා. ලංකාවෙම 106ක් විතරක් A එකක් ගද්දි අපේ පන්තිවල අපි 150ක A pass rate එකක් maintain කරලා තියෙනවා. We have maintained a 50% A pass rate until now. Okay. So ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට අර A එකක් ගන්න නැති යාළුවෙක් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් A එකක් එනවා. හරිනේ? Okay. In our class, if you can find a friend who can't get an A, you will get A. Okay, that's a basic idea. So it's not 100%. Okay, as you see, it's not 100%. Okay. Why is that? Because it's difficult. ඒ වගේම ලංකාවේ 3න් 1ක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් A level කරන ළමයින්ගෙන් 3න් 1ක් physics fail වෙනවා. Okay. Okay. A level keep starting again all in O level syllabus. Okay. O level syllabus එකේ ඔයගලන්ට හැමදාම ආපහු පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. තේරුණාද? In the O level syllabus you can start all over again. But this is not like that. It is very connected. හැමදාම ඊය කරන එක අදට ඕනේ. අද කරන එක හෙටට ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? It's very connected. Okay. So මීට මාස 6කට කලින් කරපු පාඩම ඕනේ අද එක තේරුම් ගන්න. තේරුණාද? The lesson we did 6 months before, you need that to learn today. Like that it continues. Okay. It's always connected. ඒක හැම වෙලේම එකකට එකක් සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා. තේරුණාද? It's always connected. So you always have to keep up with the lesson. Okay. හැමදාම අලුතෙන් එකක්වත් වැටෙන්න නොදී අල්ලන් ඉන්න ඕනේ. මට ගිය මාසේ පාඩම අවුල් ගියා මේ මාසේ පාඩම තේරෙයි එහෙම නැහැ. ගිය මාසේ පාඩම තේරුන්නේ නැත්නම් මේ මාසේ එක තේරෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. තේරුණාද? Because they are very connected. So it's a 2 years continuous journey. O levels it's separate journeys, right? ගිය මාසේ වැඩ කරේ නැහැ මේ මාසේ ඉඳන් වැඩ කරනවා. මේ මාසේ වැඩ කරේ නැහැ ඊළඟ මාසේ ඉඳන් වැඩ කරනවා. Okay? In O levels it's separate journeys, a bunch of separate journeys. වෙනම යන journey set එකක්. In A levels it's just continuous. Okay? You work well this month, you will understand the next month. You work well next month, you will understand the month after that. පැහැදිලිද? හැම මාසෙම වැඩ කරොත් තමයි ඊළඟ මාසෙ ටික තේරෙන්නේ. තේරුණාද? මේ මාසේ වැඩ කරන්නේ නැතුව ඉඳලා තව මාස දෙකකින් කරනවා බෑ. එහෙම තේරුම් ගන්න බෑ මේක. තේරුණාද? So it's a lot of work. Okay? It's a lot of work. Okay? දැන් අරන් අර නිකන් නිවාඩු කාලෙත් කාලා නේ ඔලෙ ඔලෙ වෙලා දවස් 5කින් ගෙන්නලා දැන් අම්මලවත් තියාගෙන වැඩ කරන හැටි කියලා නේ. ජීවිතේම නාස්ති කරන්න හදන්නේ එහෙම තමයි. මේක එහෙම තමයි. Okay? That's how it is. Okay? That's how it is. That's the nature of this. Okay? ඒ මේකේ හැටි. හරිද? කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් ආවනම් ඉතින් හරිනේ. Okay? I mean, I'm an engineer. I'm personally engineer කෙනෙක්. I can tell that I'm an engineer. කියන්නේ engineering degree තිබ්බට engineer කියන්න බෑනේ නේ. You have to work as an engineer to be an engineer. Otherwise, you are just a guy with an engineering degree. Okay? a person who works as an engineer can call himself an engineer. මම engineer කෙනෙක් වැඩ විදිහට වැඩ කරනවා නම් මට මම engineer කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. So I'm an engineer. So I know the benefits of it. You have a good recognition. දැන් මගේ වයසත් එක්ක ඇයි මේ පන්තියට ළමයි ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ? What is my degree? I'm an engineer. I can tell that. Okay. There's a reason. Okay. There's a reason. So I get a good recognition. මට හොඳට ඇත්තටම හොඳ circle එකක් ඉන්න හොඳ යාළුවෝ ටිකක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. ඔය කතන්දර ටික ඔක්කොම අපේ education background එකත් එක්ක connect වෙන දෙයක්. තේරුණා? You have a good educational background. Everything seems fine. Okay. Everything seems fine. Okay. So I mean, there are a lot of my friends. There are a bunch of doctors. There's a bunch of engineers. Everyone lives a pleasant life. Okay. Yes, it is busy. Amaruhi tamai. Everyone lives a pleasant life. Okay. Now I mean. Upcoming new year ලබන අවුරුද්ද ඉතින් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අවුරුදු දවස් ටිකේ ඔය දවස් දෙක තුනකට අපේ කට්ටිය හැමදාම කොහෙ හරි රට යනවා. Okay, we go abroad every year and we are not living by our parents money. Okay, අපි අම්මලා තාත්තලාගේ සල්ලි වලින් නෙමෙයි ජීවත් වෙන්නේ, but I can call 50 of my friends and ask them to come with me for the trip because they also have a good financial background, everything. අර එහෙම circle එකක් හැදෙන්න එහෙම දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ because you earn that. So it's not easy. Okay. ඒක අමාරු වැඩක්. ඒක කරන්න ලේසි වැඩක් නම් හැමෝටම ඕක කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ. So this is a difficult journey, okay? This is a difficult journey. You get a lot of recognition, okay? You get a lot of recognition because you went through a difficult journey, okay? ඔයා අමාරු journey එකක් දිගේ ගිය හින්දා තමයි ඔයාට හොඳ recognition එකක් හම්බ වෙන්නේ. So you have to work well, okay? හොඳටම වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් මේක කරන්න බෑ. Okay? You have to work well from day one, okay? You have to work well from day one. Then moving forward, okay, moving forward, there are 11 lessons. I mean, I'm not gonna do that thing, okay? අර පාඩම් 11ක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඔය 11 කොහොමවත් කරන්න ඕනේ බෝඩ් එකේ ලියුවත් නැත. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. I mean, මම ඒ ටික බෙදලා දෙන්නම් කොලයක වගේ ගහලා ලියන්න කම්මැලි. So we'll directly go to the lesson. Okay, අපි කෙලින්ම පාඩමට යන්, but not before that. Before that. So මේ 6% pass rate එකට හේතුවත් අපි figure out කරගන්න ඕනේ. We have to figure out the reason for this 6% pass rate. Okay, Mali. We have to figure out the reason for this 6% pass rate. We were actually trying to figure that out. Okay, pay attention. So pay attention. So we had to figure that the reason for this 6% issue. It is mainly due to attention in a class. Okay, පන්තියක attention එක හින්දා. ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ attention එකයි අපේ attention එකයි දෙකම හින්දා. ඒ කියන්නේ like දැන් ඔතන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවානේ. අපි classes ගත්තොත් පොඩි හොඳට උගන්වන්න නැති පන්ති ලොකු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ලොකු පන්ති වල attention අඩුයි ළමයාට. ඔන්න ඔය ප්‍රශ්න දෙක තියෙනවානේ. Okay. I mean, if a class is good, if it definitely grows, right? If a class is good, it definitely grows. So can we move forward now? Yeah. Now online students, can you hear us clearly now? Can you hear us clearly? Confirm? Okay, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Okay. Okay. So the thing is this. Okay, මේක හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න. Okay. The thing is this. Like මේ දැන් පන්තියක ළමයි ඉන්නවනේ නේ. පන්තියක ළමයි ඉන්නවනේ. ওই ළමයි ටික ගත්තොත් දැන් ඕගොල්ලෝ හැමෝම ඉන්ඩිවිජුවලි එක එක මට්ටම් වලින් වැඩ කරන්නේ. Every one of you works individually at different levels, but we have to look into everything. අපේ හැම දෙයක් දිහාම බලන්න බෑනේ. හැමෝම වැඩ කරනවාද මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියලානේ. We have to look into everyone, okay? We have to look into everyone, whether everyone's doing work properly and everything. So the reason, so at 2020 when I was starting classes, I tried to figure out what is the reason for this, and the reason was attention. පන්තියේ අපිට ළමයෙක්ට දෙන්න පුළුවන් attention level එකක් තියෙන එක මදි වෙච්ච ගමන් ළමයා වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහනේ. So here we figure out, we introduced the invigilating plan. ඔයගලන්ට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පන්තියේ දැන් අද ඉඳන් පුළුවන් we introduced like at least one invigilator per 10 students. ළමයි 10 දෙනෙක්ටවත් එක invigilator කෙනෙක් හම්බ වෙනවා. Okay, you will get at least one invigilator for 10 students. Okay, ළමයි 10 දෙනෙක්ට එක invigilator කෙනෙක් හරි හම්බ වෙනවා. You have to do something. Okay, දැන් පන්තියේ මම උගන්වන වෙලාවෙත් invigilators ලා 10ක් විතර පන්තියේ යනවා. තේරුණාද? There will be at least 10 invigilators going on. There are physical invigilators and online invigilators both. Okay, physical invigilators lat inna, online invigilators lat inna. Okay, there are both physical invigilators and online invigilators. So the thing is, when I'm teaching, okay, if you have a problem, ask it right there. Okay, එතනම අහන්න. තේරුණාද? දැන් පන්ති invigilators යනවනේ. ඒ වෙලෙම අතීස්ව invigilator කෙනෙක් එතෙන්ට එයි. එයාගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. තේරුණාද? Because as I mentioned, අද ඒක තේරෙන්නේ නැතුව ලබන සතියේක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ මේක. තේරුණාද? If you can't understand today's content, you won't understand tomorrow's content. Okay, so it keeps going like that. Okay, ඒක ඒ විදිහට දිගටම යනවා. තේරුණාද? If you can't understand today's content, you won't understand tomorrow's content, and it keeps happening like that. ඒක හින්දා එවෙලෙම අහන්න. And after that, after the class, our invigilators will be there maybe 4 or 5 hours. පන්තියෙන් පස්සේ පැය 4ක් 5ක් යනකම් අපේ invigilators ලා ඉන්නවා, physical invigilators and online invigilators for online students. පන්ති invigilators ලා පැය 5ක් 6ක් යනකම් invigilators ලා දිගටම ඉන්නවා. Okay, there will be invigilators continuously. You have to ask questions from them. පුළුවන් තරම් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. පන්ති ඉවර වෙලා මාත් දිගටම ඉන්නවා. Okay, I'm going to be here after the class, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm going to stay here. Ask questions. Okay, මේක ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න නැතුව කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩක් නෙමෙයි. තේරුණාද? Always ask questions again and again. Okay, keep asking questions. පුළුවන් තරම් ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? So that is the first thing. We introduced the invigilating plan. It is running perfectly. Then what about online students? අපි කොහොමද screen එකෙන් අත උසලා අහන්නද? No, like in the class you can use the chat, or we will give you a WhatsApp number to call. ඒ වෙලාවෙම WhatsApp number එකක් දෙනවා. call එකක් දුන්නා ප්‍රශ්න ඇහුවා තිබ්බා. Or put a message, we will answer that. Okay, or else after that there's a bunch of invigilators Zoom. In the Zoom you can book one invigilator for a certain hour. යම් කිසි පැය ගානකට invigilator විල්ලලා යත් එක්ක ප්‍රශ්න ටික අහගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, so the invigilating program will be running perfectly. Okay, invigilating program එක හොඳටම run වෙනවා අද සිට පටන් ගන්නවා. තේරුණාද? The invigilating program is going to continue from today perfectly. So you have to ask questions because this is science. Okay, මේ science subject එකක්. Okay, this is a science subject, so it is not easy. Okay, this is a science subject, so it is not easy. මේක science subject එකක්. ඒකින්ද කරන් යන වැඩේ ලේසි නෑ. ඒකින්ද හැමදාම අද ටික අද විසඳ ගන්න, හෙට ටික හෙට විසඳ ගන්න, අනිත් ටික අනිත් විසඳ ගන්න. තේරුණාද? You have to keep asking questions from invigilators and me. Okay, you have to keep doing that. Got the idea? Have to keep doing that. And there's a certain issue with the bio students. Bio ළමයින්ට ඉස්සරහට එන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. Okay, bio students sometimes find it hard to understand physics due to these small maths issues. ඔය maths වල තියෙන පොඩි පොඩි ප්‍රශ්න හින්දා ඔය maths කොටස් කෙරෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ ඉතින් bio ළමයින්ට. They find it hard to, they find it bit difficult to understand physics due to these maths issues. So from next week onwards, so 2 weeks after today, we'll be starting a session called maths for bio students. Whenever session එකක් පටන් ගන්නවා bio ළමයින්ට ඕන maths ටික උගන්වන්න. Okay, we'll be starting a session called maths for bio students. Bio students must come to that. Okay, bios ළමයි අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒකට එන්න ඕනේ. We will teach you the required maths parts. Okay, we will teach you the required maths parts. We will teach you the required maths parts in that session. Okay, so that I mean you can like have a better clarity equal to a math student. ඔය සාමාන්‍ය physics අමාරු වෙන්නේ bio ළමයිට එකටනේ. ඒ ඔය maths වල තියෙන පොඩි පොඩි අඩුපාඩු ටික හින්දා. තේරුණාද? ඒ ටික අපි තව ටික දවසකින් clarify කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. We are going to clarify these bio maths issues for bio students within 2 weeks. Okay, so the sessions will be starting. ඒකට අනිවාර්යෙන් බයෝ ළමයි එන්න, maths ළමයින්ට එන්න තහනන්ද නෑ එන්න. Okay, even math students, you are welcome to be here. Okay, definitely come. Why? I mean maths ළමයි කියලා මේ තාම ලොකුවට maths දන්නේ නෑනේ නේ. Okay, so still you also have a lot of stuff to learn. Okay, තාම ඉගෙන ගන්න ගොඩාක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. Okay, you have a lot of stuff to learn. Okay, so definitely come to the maths for bio student session. ඒකට හැමෝම අනිවාර්යෙන් එන්න. අම්මලා තාත්තලාත් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ළමයා එවන්න. ඒ කාලේ O level කාලේ කොච්චර maths වලට හොඳ වුණත් කමක් නැහැ එවන්න. Okay, definitely come to the sessions and use the invigilating program. Okay, හරියට invigilating program එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. Okay, and you can ask whatever the questions from me whenever you need. Okay, මම කොහොමත් පන්තිය ඉවර වෙලා පැය 4-5ක් ඉන්නවා. Okay, I'm gonna stay there and you have like අක්කලත් ඉන්නවා අයියලත් ඉන්නවා කැමති එක්කෙනෙක්ගෙන් අහන්න පුළුවන්. තේරුණාද? මමත් ඉන්නවා පන්තිය ඉවරලා. Okay, you can එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නක් තියෙනවා. ඒකයි. Okay, so you can ask whatever the questions from us before or after the class. Okay, පන්තියට කලිනුත් අහන්න පුළුවන් පන්තියට පස්සෙත් අහන්න පුළුවන්. So with this program only we were able to maintain a 50% A pass rate. Okay, අද වෙනකන් 150ක A ප්‍රතිශතයක් තියාගන්න පුළුවන් උනේ ඔය ඔක්කොමත් එක්ක. මේක තනියෙන් කරන්න බෑ. I have a huge team. Okay, my staff is around මට staff එකේ tuition එකට අදාළ staff එකේ විතරක් ඉන්නවා 40ක් විතර. And in my electronic company we have a staff of around 50. සමහර වෙලාවට ඒ 50ත් වෙනවා මේගොල්ලන්ට උගන්වන්න A level ලඟ වුණා. Why? Engineering students, so you they know anyways, they know, right? so ඒගොල්ලන්ටත් එන්න වෙනවා සමහර exam එහෙම ලඟ වුණාම A level ලඟ වුණාම ඉතින් කට්ටියට ප්‍රශ්නනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මුල් කාලේ ප්‍රශ්න නැහැ. හරිද? ඔයා මොනවද කේස් එකේ ඉන්නේ? හරිද? මුල් කාලේ ප්‍රශ්න නැහැ. In the initial stages no one have any issue. Okay, in the initial stages you never ask questions. Okay, then all of a sudden you have all the questions when it really close to the exams. Okay, A level ලඟ වුණාම අහන්න තියෙන ඔක්කොම ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න ගන්නවා. තේරුණාද? So we maintain required staff. ඒකට අවශ්‍ය staff එක අපි maintain කරනවා. Ask questions. Okay, because attention matters. ඕගොල්ලෝ මට දෙන attention එකයි මම ඕගොල්ලන්ට දෙන attention එකෙන් තමයි result එක හදන්න පුළුවන්. තේරුණාද? Attention definitely matters. I have to give you enough attention, you have to give me enough attention. Okay, it works both the directions. Okay, you definitely should give enough attention to everything, all three subjects. subject තුනටම එක සමාන attention එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? Clear? Got the idea? So that's mainly about our class program. Okay, ඕක තමයි පන්තියේ ප්‍රධානම program එක අපිට කතා කරන්න තියෙන. තේරුණාද? So online students, any questions about streams? I mean, yes, usually orientation sessions start with what you can do when if you do maths, what you can do if you do bio කරොත් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්, maths කරොත් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ටික දන්නේ හින්දානේ ආවෙත් නේ. Okay, so no need of that. Okay, හරිද? maths කරොත් මොනවද ඔයාට ඉස්සරහට කරන්න පුළුවන්, bio කරොත් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්, ඒ ටික හොයාගන්න ගෙදර ගිහින්. Okay, anyways you are doing science කරන ළමයින්ට පොඩ්ඩක් ඕවා හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Okay, so anyways you are doing science, so you move forward, do your own research and figure out what can you do if you do bio or maths. Okay, maths bio කරොත් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඕගොල්ලෝම හොයාගන්න. But one thing I know, the life is good if you do science or maths properly. Okay, science hari maths hari හරියට කරොත් ඔයාට ඇත්තටම you can have a better future. I know that personally. Okay, අර මේක අර නිකන් අර මම මෙහෙ නිකන් shape එකේ result එකක් දාලා උගන්නන ගමන් ඕගලන්ට නිකන් ලස්සන අනාගතයක් පෙන්නනවා නෙමෙයි. I have done that. Okay, I have done that, so I'm living that life. So I know that the life is good if you do science well. Okay, science හරියට කරොත් ඉතින් හොඳ future එකක් හැදෙනවා. Okay, so yes. Okay, yes, you have to definitely do this well. Okay, හැබැයි science වාගට කරොත් it's worse. Okay, it's worse. Okay, science වාගට කරන්න බෑ, මේක හරියට කරන්න ඕනේ. So everyone, like, give enough attention to this project. Okay, give enough attention to this project, everyone. ඒ වගේම parents ලට මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් ඒකත් අහන්න මම එන්නම්. Usually we give everything as tudes. Okay, හැමදේම tudes විදියට ගහලා දෙනවා. ඒක ගැන අමුතුවෙන් කරදර වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Okay, we give tudes for everything. Okay, but you have to use that neatly. ඒක හරියට neat විදියට පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ tudes ටික. තේරුණාද? You have to use the tudes neatly. You will get nice notes for everything. හැබැයි අපි පන්තියේම short note එකකුත් ගහගෙන යනවා. Okay, so I never write a main note. මම ප්‍රධාන note එකක් ලියවන්නේ නැහැ. I give you the main note printed. ප්‍රධාන note එක print කරලා දෙනවා. Okay, I give you the main note printed. Then we prepare the short note in the class. Okay, පන්තියේදී අපි කරන්නේ short note එකක් ගහන එක. තේරුණාද? ආයි ගෙදර ගිහින් එතකොට short note ගහන්න දෙයක් ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, got the idea everyone? හොඳයි. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අපේ ඉන්විජිලේටර්ස්ලා බලන්න ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද කියලා. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. ඕකේ. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. especially parents too. මොනවාද ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නේ? And like any issues regarding any subject. ඕන subject එකක් සම්බන්ධ තියෙන ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න. But I can guarantee one thing. I can give you a A if you work properly. අපි මේක කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි ලොකු කාලයක් තිස්සේ හොඳ A ටිකක් පන්තියට අරන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මම පටන් ගත්ත පළවෙනි බැච් එකේම අයිලන්ඩ් 5th හිටියා. එදා ඉඳන් තමයි පන්ති වලට ළමයි එන්න ගත්තේ. If you start a class as a kid but all of a sudden you have all the good ranks in the class, then people have to admit that you can teach, right? හරිද? අපි පටන් ගත්ත පළවෙනි පන්තියෙම අපිට ඒ ටික ආපු හින්දා තමයි අද වෙනකොට මෙතෙන්ට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. Today we are the largest English medium class in the country. Not physics, not chemistry, not bio, not maths. We are the largest English medium class in the country. We have close to 1,000 students in 2027 batch. Okay. We are doing 2 batches every year. මේකෙත් තව පන්තියක් පටන් ගන්න සඳුදට. We have close to 1,000 students in 2027 batch, but we are giving attention to every student. හැම ළමයාටම attention එක දෙනවා. There's like 50 people running the invigilating panel for 2027. Okay. 2027 A level batch එකේ invigilating panel එකේ ළමයි 50කට ලං වෙන්න ඉන්නවා engineering medicine ළමයි. Okay. There's close to 50 invigilators in 2027 A level batch, because we have to give attention to all the students, every one of those students. Okay. හැම ළමයාටම attention දෙන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? So here also we are going to do the same, but you have to do one thing. Okay. ඕගොල්ලෝගේ පැත්තෙන් එක දෙයක් කරන්න ඕනේ. You have to give enough attention to the class. Okay. ඕගොල්ලෝ පන්තියට ප්‍රමාණවත් attention එකක් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම දෙන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? You have to give enough attention to the class. So any questions, මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද කියන්න බලන්න. Yeah, there's a bunch. Okay. Online students, we are going to deliver the tutes. හෙට වෙද්දි tute ටික deliver කරනවා. තව දවස් 3ක් යද්දී ඔයගලන්ට tutes හම්බ වෙනවා. Online students, you will get the tutes within 3 days. Okay. You will definitely get the tutes within 3 days. Any questions, anyone? Students? ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද ප්‍රශ්න? So it's quite funny that, we bought a Starlink yesterday to make sure that everything would run very well. ඊ අපි Starlink එකක් ගත්ත ඔක්කොම හොඳට දුවයි කියලා හිතාගෙන. We have fiber optic connections. We have a Starlink out there running. Starlink එකකුත් වැඩ කරනවා to give a perfect connection to the online students. So now the Starlink is not performing very well. Okay. Starlink එක වැඩ කරන. Now we are running by a Dialog 4G. Okay. So life is very good at the moment. Sorry online students about that. We did everything from our side. We have a fiber optic running. මෙතන fiber optic එකක් තියෙනවා. We have a Starlink running. And everything works perfectly in the first day of the class. Okay. හැමදේම හොඳට වැඩ කරනවා. Now we are using a Dialog 4G router there. Okay. Okay. So that's how the life is. Okay. හිතන විදිහට හිතන දේවල් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Okay. Nothing happens the way you expect it to happen, but you have to fight it always. Okay. Okay. So that is the nature of things. Okay. ඊයේ දවසේම කරේ අපේ staff එකේ Starlink එක අර ඒ Starlink එක මේ දැන් I bought a Starlink mini එකක් ගත්තේ. හරිද? So it's portable. ඒකේ වචනේ තියෙන it's portable. You have to aim your phone to the sky and go everywhere until they tell you the place you should place the router. Okay. So that's the meaning of portable. අර ෆෝන් එක අල්ලන් යන්න ඕනේ හැමතැනම router එකේ තියන්න පුළුවන් තැන ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනකම්. Okay. So yeah. The most practical instrument I have seen in my life. So that's what happens. Bad engineering. Okay. Bad engineering by the way. So sorry online students. Okay. We did everything from our side. Okay. There's a Starlink running, a fiber optic running. Nothing works at the moment. Now we are using a Dialog 4G for everything. See? And at that Dialog 4G එක තර එක පැත්තයි තියෙන්නේ කාණ්ඩයි තියෙන්නේ. Any questions? Anyone? Parents? Yeah. And yes, there was a question about the medium I'm teaching in this class. This is an entirely English medium class, okay? This is an entirely English medium class. මම මේ orientation එක සහ ළමයි online සිංහල කට්ටිය English කට්ටිය පොදු වෙන හින්දා භාෂා දෙකෙන්ම කතා කරාට, okay? Although I talked with both the languages, because there are some Sinhala students also joining, this is the entirely English medium class, okay? This is the entirely English medium class. I'm completely explaining things in English, okay? I'm completely explaining things in English. The Monday one only I mix things up, okay? And I prefer if you guys can stay in this class. Why? English medium students should be able to think by English, okay? English medium ළමයින්ට English වලින් හිතන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Okay? You should be able to think using English. So if your mother tongue is Sinhala, අර mother tongue එක සිංහල නම්, okay? If you learn physics in Sinhala, okay? Or any subject in Sinhala, අර සිංහලෙන් කතා කරද්දි තමයි ඔයාගේ ඔළුවට යන්නේ. That means there's a translation happening in your brain, okay? That means there's a translation happening in your brain. It's not good. That means you always translate without knowing you slow down, okay? Without knowing you slow down. If the translation has to happen in your brain, okay? So whenever you do something, you keep translating in your brain. Sinhaleng ahanava, English වලින් තේරුම් ගන්නවා. ඕක කරන්න හොඳ නැති වැඩක්. Okay? So if you are an English medium student, try to be in the full English medium class. Because you have to learn to think in English. English වලින් හිතලා English වලින් තේරුම් අරන් English වලින් ලියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? You have to be able to understand things in English, think in English, write in English. You have to have a perfect synchronization to do a A-level physics paper in English, okay? Got the idea? To do a A-level English paper, A-level physics English medium paper, there should be a perfect synchronization happening in English in your brain, okay? So try to be in the English class, okay? Try to be in the English class if possible. පුළුවන් නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම English class එකේ ඉන්න, okay? Because I mean even parents understand that, right? Parents understand that. Translation එක ඔළුවේ කරන්න තියාගන්න එපා, okay? Try to have a perfect English, okay? ඒකත් යද්දිම හදාගෙන යන්න, okay? So in this class I'm explaining things in English. Always try to understand things in English. If you are not used to that, okay? If you are not used to that, give like 1 month, you'll be okay with that, okay? මාසයක් යද්දී ඔය English සිංහල ප්‍රශ්නේ එන්නේ නැහැ, තේරුණාද? Okay? So always think in English, okay? If you are doing English medium, think in English. Otherwise, there's a translation loss in your brain happening, okay? පොඩි delay එකක් එනවා. That delay never matters in O levels. O level වල ඒ delay එක අදාළ නැහැ. Okay? Why? Anyways, the papers are easy. Okay? In A levels, that's not the case. A levels papers are difficult, so we don't have time for translation. Okay? Translate කර කර ඉන්න වෙලා නැහැ මොලේ ඇතුලේ. Have to be really quick. Got the idea? So try to be in the English class. Okay? Try to be in the English class. And there was a question about resource books. මොනවාද ගන්න ඕන පොත්? What are the resource books that you should buy? Like we actually give everything. We print everything. Past papers, main note, different questions, some Olympiad level questions, easy questions, difficult questions. We print everything and give. හැමදේම print කරලා දෙනවා. So ideally you don't need any resource book in the class. අන්තිමට resource පොත් ඕන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So when needed, I'll distribute that or I'll ask you to buy. At the moment you just have to bring one CR. මේ අර චූටි පොත් නම් අරන් එන්න බෑ, හරිද? Okay? Because I mean A level ගානක් හදන්න පටන් ගත්තම CR කොළ 3ක් ඉවරයි, හරිද? So don't bring a small book like this, okay, to the science class, okay? So it's not O levels anymore. එහෙම පොඩි පොත් ගෙනව කටිය තුස. Okay. එහා පැත්තේ කෙනා පොඩි පොතක් ගෙනවන හදවසන්. ගහ ගන්න. Okay. So bring a big CR book, that's all. ලොකු CR පොතක් ගෙන ඇති, තේරුණාද? Bring a big CR book, that's all, everything we give. But later, you may need Rosas's explanation books about past papers. Rosas's past paper විවරණ පොත් තියෙනවා. That you may need when you are doing past papers, not now. Okay? Past paper කරද්දී Rosas's පොත් ටික ගමු, දැන් ඕනේ නැහැ. I mean, I can even print that and distribute, but I mean, it's legally prohibited to do that. ඒක විතරක් කරන්න බෑ. Legally බෑ එහෙම පොත print කරන්න. So that you have to buy. Okay? And another thing. So you guys going to school, have to go to the school now, right? Yes, one day කවදා හරි දැන්. Okay. So there's one important thing. අහගන්න. So we started a new project actually. Okay, we started a new project. That is, we actually negotiated with few school teachers. School level teachers la api staff එකට ගත්ත 4-5 දෙනෙක් එක්ක කතා කරලා with 30 plus experience. Okay, with 30 plus experience. අවුරුදු 30ට වඩා experience තියෙන teachers ලා කිහිප දෙනෙක් එක්කම කතා කරලා ගත්තා. Cause we can never forget the use of their experience. Okay, ඔය ළමයින්ගේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඊට පස්සේ ටික කාලයක් යද්දී පන්තියෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්නවා ඉස්කෝලෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න නැහැ. Okay, you don't learn from the school, but a school teacher have a lot of experience about paper marking. Okay, school teacher have a different kind of experience. Okay, වෙනම category එකක experience එකක් තියෙනවා. කවුරු හරි අවුරුදු 40ක් tuition කරත් ඒක ගන්න බෑ තේරුණාද? Okay, you can, I mean, the experience you are getting from school, experience you are getting from paper marking, experience you are getting from the programs held for the teachers by the institute, ඒ ටිකෙන් ගන්න experience එක මේ ඔය අවුරුදු 50ක් ටියුෂන් කරලවත් කාටවත් ගන්න බෑ. Okay, so you have to learn from school teachers too. ඉස්කෝලෙන් ඉගෙන ගත යුතුයි තේරුණාද? They have to learn from the school because they have a different idea about everything. Okay, clear? But from our class, time to time those teachers will come and teach. Okay, ඒගොල්ලොත් ටික කාලයකට සැරයක් ඕගලන්ට විල උගන්වයි. මොනවද උගන්වන්නේ? How to follow a marking scheme properly. අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න එක වෙනයි, මාකින් එකට ගැලපෙන්න ලියනවා වෙනයි. ලිටරචර් කරපු කට්ටියට නම් ඕක තේරෙනවා. Okay. Okay, the students who did literature would understand that. Yes, right? Yeah, so life is not that easy when you do literature. Yeah, I know. I did literature too. So, like, marking scheme එකකට ඒ කියන්නේ physics පුළුවන් කියන එක වෙනයි. You are having a good idea about physics is a different idea. Okay, writing it according to the marking scheme is another different idea. Okay, writing it according to the marking scheme is a different idea. Why? Because I mean, at the end of the day, the person who's marking your paper have no idea about you. Okay, paper e mark කරන එක්කනට ඔයාගෙන කිසි අදහසක් නැහැ තේරුණාද? You have to express yourself in the paper. බලන එක්කෙනා ඒක ඔයාට පුළුවන් කියලා තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. So that mentality they have when they are marking a paper, that I don't have. Okay, ගුරුවරයෙක් පේපරේ මාක් කරද්දී යාට තියෙන mentality එක ඒ අවබෝධය මට නැහැ. තේරුණාද? So to teach that, those teachers will come to the class. Okay, ඒ ටික උගන්වන්න අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒගොල්ලෝ එයි. තේරුණාද? From my point of view, this should happen in every tuition class in the country. Okay, හරිනම් හැම class එකෙම මේක වෙන්න ඕනේ. marking යන්නේ නැති එක්කෙනෙක්ට marking එකට බලන හැටි යන තියෙන අවබෝධය අඩුයි. තේරුණාද? So we have to do that. Okay, so that program is happening. Okay, that program is happening every month or at least once 2 months. That experienced teachers would come and explain you how to write a paper according to the A-level marking scheme such that they feel like giving you marks. ඔයාට ලකුණු ඒගොල්ලන්ට ලකුණු දෙන්න හිතන විදිහට ඕගොල්ලෝ පේපරේ ලියන්න ඕනේ කොහොමද? මොකද මන්නේ මේනේ පේපරේ බලන්නේ නේ. තේරුණාද? Okay, so these are the projects happening in our class. Okay, these are the projects happening in our class. So that's almost all. Okay, ඔය ටික තමයි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් තියෙන online students. There were a few questions. I'll check. Yeah, there's a lot of questions by the way. Yeah, everything else will be explained in the group. Okay, everything else will be explained in the group about maybe payments, getting the tudes. Okay, online ළමයින්ට තව දවස් 3ක් යද්දී tudes ඔක්කොම එනවා. මාස දෙකකට ඕන tudes ඔක්කොම එනවා. Online students will receive all the tudes you need for the next 2 months within 5 days, 3 or 5 days. I can't control the courier service, but you will get that. Okay, so I'll let you know how to fill the form and get your tudes delivered. Okay, online students will get the tudes very fast. Okay, මාස දෙකකට ඕන tute අපි කලින්ම එවනවා. එතකොට අතේ tute එක තියෙනවා ඉගෙන ගන්න දවසට. Okay, when you are learning, you will have the tute on your hand and we'll explain you how to talk with online invigilators too. Okay, online invigilators like වැඩ කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලාත් මේ මම online කට්ටියට පැහැදිලි කරන්නම්. Okay, and online students, I mean, when I'm talking to online students, I have a tendency of looking at the screen. I'm not looking to the sky. I have a screen there. I have a screen there. That's how I see you guys. Okay, so I'm not looking at the sky and talking to you guys. I'm not that kind of a psychopath. Okay, I'm just talking to you on the screen. Okay, so sorry for that. I always forget to look at the camera. I look at the screen and talk to you guys. Okay, so whenever you have a question, quickly ask. Either invigilators will reply or I will reply. Okay, ekko man reply karna nathang invigilators will reply karna. Okay, so that is the full story. Okay, that is the full story. All good? Yep. Any questions? වැඩන්නේ මං කලිනුත් ආව එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවේ නැහැ. Anyone? Anyone? දැන් ඔහොම උනාට බලමුකෝ ඉස්සරහට තව මාස දෙකක් යනකම් ඉන්නකො. Okay, you will have all the questions in the world. Okay, this is not like O levels. Okay, this is really difficult. Okay, I always have to emphasize this. පළවෙනි දවසේ ඉඳන් වැඩ කරමු. Okay, අද ලැජ්ජා කරන්න එපා. I have a 100% pass rate, 50% A rate. Okay, so it's up to you now. දැන් ඉතින් ඕගොල්ලොත් ඒක කරන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? නැත්තම් බෑ. Okay, බලෙන් හරි කරවනවා. Okay, බලෙන් හරි කරවනවා, but need a small support from you guys. Okay, so let's start the lesson. Everyone, anyone who didn't get the tutes හම්බෙච්ච නැති කට්ටිය? Anyone? And online students, like for today, you have to get the tute from the resources section of the webinar. Webinar ke resources section එකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. And for YouTube live students, you can get the tute from the YouTube live chat, or tutes are now available in the WhatsApp group too. Only make the tutes available in the WhatsApp group. Okay. And parents, if you have any questions, I can answer. We'll start the lesson. Patango. Everyone, get the book, get your CR books out. Let's start with the project. Welcome everyone for A levels. Online ළමයිනුත් පොත් ටික ගන්න. Online students, get your books out. And our other session will be happening on Monday evening. Physical students, if you didn't get the tutes, get the tutes. Tutes සම්බන්ධ නැත්නම් ඉල්ල ගන්න කියලා. Ask for the tutes. I'll be here if any parent have questions. ළමයින්ට parents ලාට මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න. Check. සමහර කට්ටිය අද ඉගෙන ගන්න නෙමෙයි ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. So some people don't have books. We'll distribute some papers for that. Okay. We have full scap, right? We have full scap, right? Distribute full scap for the students who didn't come to learn today. Did you Did you came here to leave early? No, right? Okay, then it's fine. We'll give you full scap papers. Only distribute the full scap papers for the students who don't have books. We'll move forward. Okay, I think online students have the tooth. Mali, I need a tooth. Hey, I need a tooth. Don't forget me. Anyone need full scap papers? Request. Give enough full scap papers for the students who don't have books. Okay, pay attention. Pay attention. So starting with the first lesson. So everyone be silent. Be silent, everyone. Okay. So measurements. Minimum. What are measurements? So basically, anything that could be measured directly or indirectly, we call a measurement. Okay. What is the meaning of that? Like there are some properties that can be measured directly or indirectly. What are the properties? The length, mass, anything, the current, the luminous intensity of these lights, everything can be measured, right? Everything we see can be measured. Got the idea? But there are things that you can't measure. Your motivation, things like love, like there are a bunch of stuff that we use, okay, but we can't measure, right? So anything that can be measured, we call a physical quantity, either directly or indirectly, okay? So what about the brain level of a student, the intelligence of a student? Kind of. Now we are creating methods to identify that, like IQ index, EQ index, okay? So anything that can be measured is a physical quantity. So moving forward, like then talking about these measurements, okay? Talking about these measurements, like we have certain properties in any measurement, okay? We have certain properties in any measurement. These measurements, take a length or a mass or anything, they should ideally have some properties, okay? They should ideally have a set of properties. What are these properties? The properties are the length, okay? It should have a magnitude. The first thing is it should have a magnitude. Any measurement should have a magnitude, okay? Any measurement should have a magnitude. And after that, any measurement should have a unit, but most often, sometimes you won't find a unit. Have you heard relative density, refractive index, things like that? Can you remember from O-level syllabus? Things like relative density, refractive index, they don't have units. So usually any measurement must have a magnitude. Any measurement must have a magnitude and usually a unit, but there are some scenarios that you can't find a unit, okay? There are some scenarios that you can't find a unit. Then sometimes directions, but only sometimes, okay? Sometimes it has a direction, but it's only sometimes. Got the idea? So, like talking about these unit systems have a huge history, okay? I'll zoom this away. Zoom, like when we talk about units, it has a huge history. Can you remember in the past, okay? In the past, we don't had a very specific unit system. people used some like quantities, I mean, that they know of as units. They didn't use the meter, okay? They didn't use kilograms. Sometimes they used the mass of the king, okay? Mass of the king as a measurement, okay? Sometimes they used the mass of the king as a measurement. Things like that, very variable, okay? හූව කියලාත් කියන්නේ හූ තියලා කොච්චර දුර යන්න පුළුවන්ද kind of stuff, okay? So like in the past, we only had regional units, okay? We only had a bunch of regional units. But after this French Revolution kind of stuff, okay? After this French Revolution kind of stuff, when that Napoleon Bonaparte guy conquered the world, they faced a lot of issues, okay? Now they buy some stuff from this site, they buy some stuff from this site, then bring that to this region, but there's no uniformity in the units. It's a problem, right? There's no uniformity in the units. So now you buy using a different unit system, you sell using a different unit system. And the main problem is in this land, the king is 60 kilograms, in that land, the king is 150 kilograms. So now all of a sudden you have a problem, okay, when you measure using the mass of the king, okay, like that we have problems, okay. So they needed a proper system, okay. They needed a proper system. As a result, they introduced something called the SI unit system. As a result, they introduced something called the SI unit system. What is this SI unit system? A metric system that everyone believes to be correct, okay. A metric system that everyone believes to be correct, okay. That is the metric system. So later the whole world had to believe this. I mean, but still today, you know, right, US, like even now, like building a lot of problems, right? You know that there's a war happening, right? Anyone who didn't know that there's a war happening? If the friend to your next didn't know that there's a war happening? Okay, so US never listens to stuff, okay? So still they use kind of things like pounds, pay attention. Still they use things like pounds, okay, to measure things, okay. So they are not ideally believe in the SI unit system. I'm gonna later talk about the SI unit system, okay. I'm gonna later talk about the SI unit system. What is SI unit system? SI unit system, the system that we ideally know of. What is that? Meters, kilograms, seconds, everything belongs to the SI unit system, okay. The like 99% of the units that we know today belongs to SI unit system, okay. 99% of the units. But there are some units special to industries, okay. Some industries for their benefit or just to make their life easy, okay. Some industries just to make their life easy don't use SI units. They have a separate bunch of units, okay. For an example, I mean, US use things like pounds just because of their ego, okay. It's a different story, okay. But some specific industries like to use units that makes their life easy. What is the meaning of that? They like to use units that makes their life easy. For an example, NASA, space. Using what do they like? What is the unit they use to express the length? What is the unit that they use to express the length? Not meters, it's light years. Light years. Have you heard that term, light years? They always use the term called light years to measure things. Why? It gives us two information, okay? It gives us two information. What are these two information? What is light year? Light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Okay. What is 1 light year? 1 light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. So what is the velocity of light? What is the velocity of light? 3 into 10 to the power 8. 3 into 10 to the power 8. So this is the velocity. This is the velocity. So we know that velocity equals distance over time, right? These you know, right? Velocity equals distance over time. So distance equals velocity into time, okay? Distance equals velocity into time. Got the idea? Yeah. It's a different story. I'll talk about that. Yeah. It's displacement, yeah. Okay. But anyways, I mean it's good that you are correcting stuff. I mean, anyways, like distance or displacement equals velocity into time. These kind of stuff, what is distance, what is displacement, what is velocity, what is speed, why distance is a scalar, why displacement is a vector. We have a separate lesson for that called vectors, okay? You will learn about vectors for 1 month, okay? You will learn about vectors for 1 month, okay? And one thing that we should admire is, yes, you have to always check, okay? You have to always check. You have to always ask from the invigilators why the guy is telling like that, okay? You have to always ask questions. You have to always check whether everything is right. If one of your teachers are reluctant to answer, okay, that is not because of like they find it insulting or anything, that's because they don't know answers, okay? So we can't, in a science class, if you ask a question until I clarify, I can't move forward, okay? That's the nature of science, okay? So whenever you have a question, ask. We are not going to move forward until we clarify that, okay? That is the nature of a science class, okay? That's the whole point of doing science. You have to question things, okay? You have to question things happening in the nature. You have to ask, why is it like that? The Newton, I mean, was thinking about an apple. So as a result, now we have gravity, okay? So yes, so always ask questions. So displacement equals velocity into time, okay? Or distance equals speed into time. So 3 into 10 to the power 8 is the speed or the velocity. Then time means 1 year, okay? Time means 1 year. What is 1 year? 1 year, how many days for 1 year? Let's say 365. It is not 365, it's 365.25 or something like that. You have that larger years and smaller years, I can't remember. So we don't care these kind of stuff in A levels, okay? You have better problems. 365 days for a year. Then how many, like, it's 365 days for a year. How many hours per day? 24. Now this is changing a bit. 24. Then how many seconds per hour? 3600 seconds per hour. So this is the time, right? So this is 1 light year, okay? This is 1 light year, okay? The distance, velocity into time gives you the displacement. The distance traveled by light in 1 year. Got the idea? Why is this very convenient? Why is this very convenient in space kind of stuff? Because like we can know about the time and distance both when we use this unit. We can know about the distance and time both when we use this unit. What is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is like assume that there's a planet or something like that here, okay? Assume that there's a planet or something like that here, okay? If there's a planet, okay, 5 light years away, and we are from a telescope, we are looking at that, okay? Now I'm seeing something on this planet, okay? But it is 5 light years. That means whatever light emits from here, it takes 5 years to reach here, right? Any light, it takes light to reach here 5 years, right? Okay, light takes 5 years to reach here. So now, what you are seeing now is actually It actually happened 5 years ago. Okay, what you are seeing now actually happened 5 years ago, right? Okay, it actually happened 5 years ago. Clear? So, I mean, if you saw someone like trying to kill someone here, now it's over, okay? Now it's over, it's done. Neither one of them are dead now. So, like that, you see something happened 5 years ago, okay? අවුරුදු 5කට කලින් වෙච්ච දෙයක් දකින්නේ, okay? You are seeing something happened 5 years ago. This gives us two information, as I mentioned, okay? This gives us two information. What is the distance? How many years ago? See, it's very convenient, right? If we tell this in meters, it's not going to be convenient, right? So number one thing about units is whether it's SI or whether it's something else. It's not the case. The number one requirement of units is it has to be easy to use. Okay, that's the number one requirement behind units. It has to be easy to use. This expresses me a lot of information. Okay, this expresses me a lot of information. So that is the meaning of light years. I mean, there's a like a song of, I think, Ravi J. I can't remember the song. නුඹ දකින්නේ මගේ නුඹ හා මා අතර දුර ආලෝක වර්ෂ නුඹ දකින්නේ අද මගේ අතීතය. What is that? What is the song? What is the song? Louder. Louder. Anyone? Anyone? What is the name of the song? Sorry? Dura Akase, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't explain this in English. It is a Sinhala song. What they are telling is, නුඹ හා මා අතර දුර ආලෝක වර්ෂ, distance between you and me is light years. නුඹ දකින්නේ අද මගේ අතීතය. So you are always seeing my past. Okay, very, very convenient rap, by the way. Okay, I mean, very, very scientific. Okay, නුඹ හා මා අතර දුර ආලෝක වර්ෂ, නුඹ දකින්නේ අද මගේ අතීතය. The distance between you and me is light years. So today you are always seeing my past, because the distance between you and me is light years. Okay, you listen to those raps, perfect science. Okay, not, I mean, perfect science, better than an Indian movie. Okay, it's always perfect science. So moving forward, so when it comes to units, okay, when it comes to units, it's always about convenience, as I mentioned. Okay, engines use RPM, rounds per minute, not a SI. Okay, not a SI unit, rounds per minute. Engines, it's RPM. Why? It's convenient. How many rounds per minute? The rotation of a motor. Like that, it's always about convenience. But in every other scenario, we like to use SI. Okay, in every other scenario, we like to use SI just to keep this uniformity. Okay, මේ එකඟත්වය පවත්ව ගන්න. Okay, just to keep this uniformity, we always prefer to use SI units. So moving forward, you have everything explained as paragraphs in the tude. So definitely read them. Okay, අනිවාර්යෙන් කියව ගන්න. Okay, there's a perfect note. Okay, there's a perfect note. In the class, we are creating the short note. Okay, පන්තියේදී අපි හදන short note එක. In the class, we are creating the short note, the perfect note you have in your book. Okay, so next. So in this SI unit system, okay, in this SI unit system, there are different types of units. Okay, the first one is fundamental physical quantities. The first type of units is the fundamental physical quantities. What are fundamental physical quantities? Fundamental physical quantities are physical quantities that cannot be created by combining other physical quantities. For an example, what is density? Density is mass over volume. So it's just a result of two physical quantities, right? Mass is a physical quantity, volume is a physical quantity. So this is just a result of two physical quantities, right? This is just a result of two physical quantities. But tell me mass, tell me length, length, length. Can you create a length combining other physical quantities? Can you create a length combining other physical quantities? Never, right? No, length is just length. You can directly measure. Otherwise, you can't multiply mass by time or do anything and get length, right? Not going to happen. So length is length. You can only measure that directly. You can't combine anything and get the length. Okay. So these are fundamental physical quantities. Okay. The fundamental stuff. Everything is made out of them. Nothing can create them. Okay. Everything is made out of them, but nothing can create them. Got the idea? So what are the other physical quantities like this? Length. Then we have mass, length, mass. Then we have time. Then thermodynamic temperature. I'll just write it as temperature, but you always have to write it as thermodynamic temperature. Okay. Thermodynamic temperature. Write the remaining part when you are writing. Electric current, I'll just write it as current. You have everything perfectly on your note. Electric current, but let's write it as current. Then amount of substance, amount of substance. Amount of substance. Then luminous intensity. Then luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. So these are the fundamental physical quantities. Nothing can create them, okay? These are the fundamental physical quantities. Nothing can create them. Length, mass, time, temperature, current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. Clear? Then talking about these physical quantities, there are units for them. This length is measured by meters, okay? This length is measured by meters. Then mass is measured in kilograms. Mass is measured in kilograms. Time is measured in seconds. Thermodynamic temperature is measured in Kelvin. Thermodynamic temperature is measured in Kelvin. Electric current is measured in amperes. Amount of substance is measured in moles. Then the luminous intensity measured in candela. Okay. So, I mean, there's a huge story, the physical quantities and everything. But when they ask questions, a possible question is, what are the fundamental physical quantities? Okay. A possible physical quantity, a possible question is, what are the fundamental physical quantities? They may ask questions like that. Okay. So in your short note, I need you to write. Okay, prepare a nice short note in the class. In the class, what you should do is you quickly go through everything. I mean, in the your short note should be in a way that you can quickly go through everything and understand. Understand the topics that they will ask in the exam. So in the exam, they won't ask you the history or anything like that, but they may ask what are the fundamental physical quantities. So you should be able to write them. Okay. You should be able to write them. So that's how we study. So in your book, properly write. Okay, write this neatly. Okay, do this neatly. Use colors. Okay. I know maths people don't like to use colors. And yes, guys, you also don't like to use colors. No harm in using colors. Okay. So at least bring one color pen. Okay. And use at least two colors. And I mean, make a note that you would like to refer again. Okay. Clear? That prepare a note you would like to refer again. So in your short note, write the main topic of the book, units and dimensions. Units and dimensions, main topic of the book, units and dimensions. It's in the front page of your book. It's units and dimensions. Come on, right? Units and dimensions. Main topic, units and dimensions. මගේ මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තිබ්බොත් මට කියන්න ඉක්මනට. Main topic units and dimensions, under that measurements. First subtopic measurements. පළවෙනි subtopic එක measurements. Write the first subtopic measurements. First subtopic measurements. Write the first subtopic measurements. So they may never ask you why do you use SI unit system, but they may ask what are the fundamental physical quantities. So in the short note, what we write is what they definitely ask in the exam. Why? When it is close to the exam after 2 years, you don't have time to go through everything, okay? So then you should have something small so that you can refer everything quickly and be ready for the exam, okay? That's why the short note. So write under measurements, write fundamental physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities. Write the topic fundamental physical quantities. So under fundamental physical quantities, write them. Under fundamental physical quantities, write these things. Just this table. But write things properly. Thermodynamic temperature, electric current. Write things properly. You can refer to the note and write things properly. Online students, you will receive the tudes within 5 days. Okay. You will receive the tudes within 5 days. We'll give you the information how to receive the tudes. Just give me the paper. Okay. Quickly, and you have to be a bit quick in the class, okay? Why? Whatever the speed that you use in daily writing, you will use in the exam too, okay? So speed up everything, okay? Speed up everything. Whenever you write something, try to write them neatly and very fast, okay? Learn writing skills, develop writing skills in the class, okay? Have to be speed, but have to be clear. Need not to be nice, okay? Especially the people who are doing bio, like write proper letters. Otherwise, I mean, you can't read things when you write as doctors. But now there's a regulation, I think, right? Now doctors write very perfect letters. So they've all their life they had the ability to write proper letters. They haven't done that. Now they all of a sudden write very nice letters. Now there's a regulation, I think, like that. So length, mass, time, thermodynamic temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. These are the fundamental physical quantities. Length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. So length you know, mass you know, time, yes, you know that. Temperature, yes, you know that as well. But the fundamental unit is not Celsius, okay? Fundamental SI unit is not Celsius. There's a reason for that. In the lesson heat, you will learn that. Don't worry, for everything we have a lesson in physics, okay? For everything, okay? You ask any question, I'll tell that there's a separate lesson for that, okay? So you will learn why Kelvin. You will learn everything, how Kelvin was defined, what are the problems in Celsius. So why we need Kelvin? What are the benefits of using Kelvin? Everything you will learn. Okay. So temperature is measured in kelvins. So this is capital K. Okay. This is capital K. Emphasize that this is capital K. It is very important. Okay. Capital K and simple K means entirely different meanings. Okay. Okay. Capital simple, if you shift them, it means an entirely different meaning. Okay. So it should be capital K, Kelvin. And usually if it is capital, that means it is a person. Okay. It is a person. Kelvin is a person. Ampere is a person. Okay. Okay. If they assign a unit just to respect a person, it is capital. Okay. So Kelvin is a person actually. Yes, it's a unit as well. Then current, electric current measured in amperes. Electric current measured in amperes, again a person. Okay. Electric current measured in amperes, again a person. Amount of substance measured in moles. That means how many. Okay. Clear? How many? So I mean, you can't combine things and tell how many, right? How many tables are here? It's just the count of table. Nothing can recreate how many, right? So that is the amount of substance. Okay. Then luminous intensity. Luminous intensity, that means the amount of light coming out of a bulb. Okay. Not actually the amount of light, how intense that is. Okay. Now we have a changing intensity here. It also, this is the first time that this is not working. Something, I mean, everything bad happens in the first day of a batch. That, I mean, it is actually good. Okay. That means like something good is going to happen in the future. This is the first time this is happening. This is the first time our Starlink went down. This is the first time our fiber optic went down. So you are a good batch actually. Very, very lucky batch. Okay. Especially online people. Even like Starlink works properly in Iran. Okay, nowadays like it's not working in the country, so you guys are really lucky. So got the idea? Study this part. You have to study this. I'll tell you what to study and what not to study. Okay. Next. Then we have, these are the main physical quantities that recreates everything. Then we are going to skip one part. There's something called supplementary physical quantities. Okay. There's something called supplementary physical quantities. We are going to skip that part. Then we are going to move derived physical quantities. What are derived physical quantities? Derived physical quantities are the physical quantities that we create using them. Okay. We create derived physical quantities using them. That means, for an example, what is area? What is area? Area means length into length, right? Area means if this is L1 and if this is L2, area means L1 into L2, okay? Area means L1 into L2, okay? Here, area means L1 into L2, okay? Then, like volume, density, mass over volume, okay? Density means mass over volume. Volume means length into length into length, okay? Volume means length into length into length. Then density is mass over volume, okay? Density means mass over volume. Then talking about density, we have 3 types of densities, okay? These things we don't care at the moment. Later we may need this. That means we have linear density. What is linear density? Linear density means mass over length. Okay. Linear density means mass over length. That means mass per unit length. Okay. That means mass per unit length. Clear? Mass per unit length. Then we have surface density or area density. We have surface density or area density. That means the mass per unit area. Okay. Surface density or area density. That means the mass per unit area. Then we have the normal density. That means mass over volume. Okay. We have the normal density. That means mass over volume. Okay. So there are three types of densities, but if they use the term density, this is the meaning, okay? If they specifically tell linear density, it is mass over length. That means the mass per unit length. If they use surface density or area density, that means mass over area, okay? That's how it goes. Then the units, what is this unit? This unit into this unit. So you get meter squared, okay? What about this volume? This unit into this unit into this unit. So the unit of volume is meter cube. Then what is this? Mass over length. So what is the unit? Mass is measured in kilograms. Mass is measured in kilograms. Length is measured in meters, okay? Mass is measured in kilograms. Length is measured in meters. So it is kilograms per meter. It is kilograms per meter. Then here again mass is measured in kilograms. Area means meter squared. Okay. Area means meter squared. So now the unit is kilogram per meter squared. Kilogram per meter squared. Then what is mass over volume? Mass means kilograms. Volume means meter cube. Volume means meter cube. Okay. Volume means meter cube. Then we get what? Kilograms per meter cube. Okay. We get kilograms per meter cube. Got the idea? So like that, these are derived physical quantities, and even their units are derived using the fundamental units. Okay. These are the fundamental physical quantities. Okay. These are the fundamental physical quantities, and these are the fundamental units, and the derived physical quantities are made of what? Derived physical quantities are made of fundamental physical quantities, and derived units are made of fundamental units. Okay. Moving forward, there are thousands of derived physical quantities. Okay. So I'm not gonna continue. Okay. In page 4, you can see thousands of other derived quantities. For an example, speed. Okay, this is also derived. Speed is derived. What is speed? Distance over time, right? Speed means distance over time. That means meters over seconds. That means meters per second. Meters per second. Then you have lot of stuff, okay? Lot of stuff. Angular momentum, angular velocity, linear momentum, linear velocity. So how are you going to remember all these things? How are you going to remember all these things? You can go home and study everything, but don't do that, okay? Don't try to study this stuff. Why? I mean, it's just a waste of time if you try to study them. Why? That's not how you learned that the unit of velocity is meters per second, right? Did you study that? I don't think so, right? Okay, the unit of velocity is meters per second. You never studied that, right? You work with velocity. You work with speed. As a result, you know. So like that, all these units will be used in the future lessons, okay? All these units will be used in the future sessions in different lessons. So as a result, you will anyways remember them, okay? So don't try to study them, okay? Don't try to study them, just let it be, okay? Then later in each lesson, you will learn about, each unit. Got the idea? Okay, moving forward. Like, what are the other physical quantities? There are some special physical quantities. What are these special physical quantities? These special physical quantities are the physical quantities that we give a special name. For an example, who's the main guy behind force? Who's the main guy behind force? Newton, right? I mean, ideally, the person said a lot of obvious stuff. But anyways, we like respect the guy for telling those obvious stuff. What is the first Newton's law? An object will not move unless it is moved. Okay. I mean, what else could happen? And what is the law of gravity? Things fall down because something is pulling it down. Wow. I have a problem, but anyways, lot of respect to the guy, because I mean, those days, I mean, with that level of science they had, the person did a lot of, I mean, it's not actually the things Newton identified are not actually we don't know the actual stuff Newton invented. That means it's not just force, it's not just Newton's laws. All the physics laws even today are derived using integration differentiation kind of stuff. අවකලන අනුකලන maths කට්ටිය ඉගෙන ගනි. Integration differentiation. All the complex mathematics today, everything was invented by Newton, okay? The person was struggling to prove his own theorem, so he invented the maths required to prove his theorems. Again, that is also a bit sketchy, okay? Because I mean, you use your maths to prove your physics. I mean, kind of, there's also a small problem, but anyways, I mean, the huge respect to the person. So, but now the guy is Einstein, by the way. So, anyways, speed is measured in meters per second. You just know that, right? Today you know that. So like that, you will get to know everything. Don't study, okay? Don't study unit by unit. Okay, there's something called angular momentum. This is the unit of the angular momentum. Don't study things like that, okay? Clear? So moving forward. So force, we have to respect Newton. So what is force? Can you tell me a equation connected with force? F equals ma. F equals ma. So what is the unit of mass? Kilograms. What is the unit of acceleration? Meters per second squared. So this is the main SI unit. This is the main SI unit of force, okay? This is the main SI unit of force. Kilograms, meters per second squared. But this bunch, if I have to write this again and again and again, whenever I have to write the force, it's a lot of trouble. So we give a single name to this unit called newtons. Okay, newtons. Okay, like that you have pascals for pressure, joules for energy. All these units are people. Okay, hertz, coulomb, volt, ohm, farad, all people. Okay, so again, don't study them. Okay, you will hate these unit after. You will hate these units after each unit. Okay, because you have to write it 1,000 times. All these units you have to write 1,000 times in each unit, so you don't have to study them. Okay, you will anyways know them and hate them after each lesson. So just let it be. Don't try to study them. Okay, so there's thousands of derived physical quantities like this. Okay, there's thousands of derived physical quantities like this. So a derived physical quantity is a physical quantity which is a combination of other physical quantities. Okay, so like write the topic derived physical quantities, write few examples, and just write combination of fundamental physical quantities that are combinations of fundamental physical quantities. Write the topic derived physical quantities. They may ask, what is a derived physical quantity? Okay, right? A derived physical quantity, topic derived physical quantity. Then under that, write combinations of fundamental physical quantities. Combinations of fundamental physical quantities. Combinations of fundamental physical quantities. First, put things into your brain, then write. Okay. One of the main targets of writing a short note is so that you can remember things. When you write, you can remember. Okay. So why are we writing the short note? Writing the whole note is useless. Then you try to remember everything, then you remember nothing. Okay. But when we write the important stuff, you tend to remember those things. Okay. So first understand, remember, then write. Okay. Then you actually don't have to go home and study. Okay. But go home and study. So write under derived physical quantities, write combinations of other physical quantities. Combinations of other physical quantities. Then write few examples you like. Okay. Maybe this one and this one. Maybe these two. So online students, it's not actually me blinking, it's a bulb, okay? Sorry? Combinations of other physical quantities, write these stuff, medically, aga. Write these. And again, I have to mention, this is just an introduction, okay? That means this is the first unit. I am definitely against this, okay? I mean, they should never put this lesson as the first thing. Then you think, okay, it's just about units. So the physics is very easy. I mean, that kind of stuff goes into your head. So I'm very against with this, having this at the first unit. So this is not physics, okay? We are just learning the units that you may need in the future, okay? Then comes real physics. Then you start hating that, okay? So real problems didn't start yet. Online students, any problems, people? Oh, you join now. Cool. What is the finishing time? I think it's 6:30. So what should we write again? Wow. You were listening. I asked you to write the topic derived physical quantities. Then under that, combinations of other physical quantities. Then write a few examples. It's not a bomb, it's actually the class above us finishing. Don't worry. I mean, it's quite frightening, right? There's a blinking light, there's sound happening above. No. Nothing happened. It's just happening in Iran. Okay. Moving forward. Then we have a physical quantities. Then we have a special kind of physical quantity. A bunch of physical quantities that doesn't fall into both of these categories. That means they are not fundamental. They are not fundamentals, okay? They are not fundamentals, but they are not combinations either, okay? Yes, kind of, they are combinations in a way, but they have a very different behavior. So we call them supplementary physical quantities, okay? Physical quantities that doesn't fall into both these categories, okay? They are not fundamentals, but they are not derived, okay? They are not fundamentals or derived. So what are these supplementary physical quantities? We have the plane angle and solid angle. Okay, we have the plane angle and solid angle. They are a special type of physical quantities. Plane angle, solid angle. You have everything in your book. So what is plane angle? What is plane angle? Plane angle unit is radians. We use the symbol rad for that. Radians. Then the unit of solid angle is radians. We use SR for that. we use SR for that. Okay, this is plane angle, this is solid angle under supplementary physical quantities. Plane angle and solid angle. Solid angle. It's plane angle and solid angle. So radians and steradians, we mainly have to know this only. Okay, in our syllabus we have to know this only. We don't have to know the solid angle, but I'll explain both, but you have to remember this only. So plane angle means just the angle. Okay, the angle you know. Okay, the angle you know. What is the unit you use to measure angles? Degrees, right? But it is not the main SI. Main SI of measuring angle is, main SI unit of measuring angle is radians. Okay, here. So what is the definition of radians? Radians is a special way of expressing the angle using a circle. Okay, radian is a special way of expressing an angle using a circle. That means here what we do is take a circle, assume its radius as r. Okay, assume its radius as r. Then this is an angle, right? This is an angle, right? This is an angle, theta. Okay, this theta angle is defined if this length is s. If this length is s, theta radian means, okay, theta radian means s over r radians. Got the idea? This is a way of expressing an angle using a circle. Clear? So if this length is s, the radius is r, we express the angle using s over r. Got the idea? S over r. This way of defining angle is very beneficial. You will learn this later, especially in angular motion. It's really useful. Okay, so it will take a bit time to connect the dots. Okay, that's the nature of science. I mean, now you will learn a bunch of stuff. Later you will understand why did you learn that. It happens in O levels too. Okay, some stuff that you neglected entirely will be used in A levels. Okay, so yes, there are some problems like that. Like for electronics, okay, you had a huge electronic syllabus in O levels. We start from where you stopped, but the thing is we anyways teach everything, okay, because you never go through the tronic part properly, so we have to teach it every year properly. So theta radians is s over r radians. So this is the way of defining radians. Okay, that means for an example, okay, if there's a circle of 5 meter radians, if there's a circle of 5 meters radius, if I need to find this angle alpha, I first have to measure this distance. Okay, let's assume that it is 2 meters. Then what is this angle? Alpha equals s over r. That means the distance is 2 over 5 radians. 2 over 5 radians, which means 4 over 10 radians. Multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2 and this by 2, then 4, this one becomes 10, which gives you 0.4 radians. Clear? So write supplementary physical quantities supplementary physical quantities. Write supplementary physical quantities. So if you're planning to come to the physical class, anyways, you can get the tunes from the physical class. But if you are like at least joining the next week online, just request the tune delivery, okay? Then we can send you the tunes. Will they enable us to use calculators at the exam? Yes, maybe in 2080. Yes, things you are seeing in the present takes a small time to be received on your eye. Yes, so definitely there's a delay. Okay, supplementary physical quantities. Write this part from your tute. Quantity. Write this part from your tute. Quantity and the unit. Quantity and the unit. Quantity is plane angle, radians, solid angles, radians. Write it as the quantity. Under supplementary physical quantities, write quantity. I'm specially targeting the things that they may ask. Okay, they may never ask why supplementary physical quantities are supplementary. They never ask, but they ask you to write what are the supplementary physical quantities. Okay, so in the short note, I'm targeting the things that they may ask. Okay, quantity, here unit. Okay, quantity, plane angle, solid angle, unit, radians and steradians. Radians and steradians. Just write that. Is it time for the interval? No, right? 11. Do we need an interval today? No, right? I mean, I usually give an interval. Anyway, let's finish this. Okay. So so after that, write this definition of after that, write this the definition of radians. Definition of radians. Write this and write an example quickly. Can I have the tute courier number? Can I have the tute courier number quickly? Tute courier number. Can I quickly have that? For online students, I'll provide you the tute courier details. Submit this, then we will send you the tute by tomorrow. So for online students, for now, tutes are available in the resources in the group and in the YouTube live chat. So send a message to this number, 070 786 786 070 786 6277 070 786 6277. You have to send a message to this number, your batch 2028, your batch. Send it now, otherwise you will forget, because we are going to send the tunes tomorrow. Whether you are English medium or Sinhala medium, your address, okay, your address, 2 phone numbers that 2 or 1, okay, 1 phone number that you will answer, okay, that you will answer. Clear? Mention 2000 and your name. Ideally, we actually don't need that, but I mean, just 2028, your name, whether you are English medium or Sinhala medium, then your address, then your phone number. Send a WhatsApp message to this. We will send you the tunes by tomorrow. You will receive them within 3 to 5 days. So by next week, you will have the tune with you. Okay. So now tell me, what is 1 degree? Tell me, what is 1 degree in radians? Quickly try to find. What is 1 degree in radians? 1 degree is equal to how many radians? Try to find that quickly using this concept. 1 degree is equal to how many radians? අංශක එකක් කියන්නේ radian කීයක්ද? 1 degree is equal to how many radians? One degree equals how many radians? Can I have that single page? Can I have that single page? The question tube. 1 degree equals how many radians? Questions? Anyone? So how do we get the answer? Use something we know. Anyone writing that? Anyone writing it still? No? Anyone? All right. So use something we already know. What is that? Use a full circle maybe. Use a full circle. That means take one full circle. Okay. What is the radius r? Okay. What is the angle equal to one full circle in degrees? 360 degrees. Then this is this angle theta. Okay. How can I write the same angle using radians? How can I write the same angle using radians? It is this full circumference then, right? It is this full circumference then. Got the idea? It is this full round. Got the idea? What is the length of the full round? So theta in radians is S over R rad, right? S over R rad. So what is S? What is S? S is 2 pi R, right? You know this, right? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, right? Okay. One full circle means 2 pi R. Clear? One full circle means 2 pi R. over r. Okay, it's 2 pi r over r. Got the idea? Then r and r cancels out. Clear? One full circle means 2 pi r divided by r. Then r and r cancels out. We have what? 2 pi radians. Got the idea? We have 2 pi radians. Okay, that means 360 degrees equals what? 2 pi radians. Okay, 360 degrees equals 2 pi radians. Got the idea? It's one full circle means 360 degrees. Again, one full circle using the definition of radians, it is 2 pi r over r, which gives you 2 pi. Clear? Pi is 3.14. So if you have this, you know 1 degree. What is 1 degree? Then 360 degrees means 1 degree into 360. 360 degrees means 1 degree into 360 equals 2 pi radians equals 2 pi radians. 360 degree means 1 degree into 360 equals 2 pi radians. Then 1 degree equals 2 pi over 360 radians. Okay, 1 degree equals 2 pi over 360 radians. Write this down. Connection between degrees and radians. Topic. Connection between degrees and radians. Then write this. Okay. Connection between degrees and radians. Then write this. Sure. Yeah, I'll explain that again. Yes, if you can join physically, but I mean online students will get everything equal to the physical students. Yeah, got the idea? What? I'll explain things again. I asked you the relationship between the radians and degrees. I asked you to find 1 degree in radians. So I am using something that I already know. 1 full round. I know 1 full round means 360 degrees, right? Okay. 1 full round means 360 degrees. Then how can I write 1 full round using radians? How can I write 1 full round using radians? It is S over R. In this case, S should be the length occupied by the angle, right? So the length actually occupied by the angle is this, right? Length occupied by the angle is this. Clear? This is the length occupied by the angle. Clear? Which is full round. That means 2 pi r. Okay? So S means 2 pi r divided by r. Clear? 2 pi r over r. Okay? It is 2 pi r over r. Then r and r cancels out. S over r. So 2 pi r over r. R and r cancels out. Then I get 2 pi radians. Okay? I get 2 pi radians. Then same angle in degrees it is 360 degrees. In radians it is 2 pi radians, the new unit. That's how you connect 2 units, right? You write the same thing using the 2 units, right? Anyways, although the units are different, it's the same thing. So they are equal. 360 degrees equals 2 pi radians. Then 360 degrees means 1 degree into 360, right? Equals here 2 pi radians. So 1 degree equals 2 pi over 360 radians. Clear? Got the idea? Write this down. So if I calculate, if I solve this further, this is equal to pi over 180 radians, okay? This is equal to pi over 180 radians. Pi over 180 radians. Quickly write these things you can do in a rough paper or anywhere you like, okay? You anyways receive a lot of leaflets every day, so you can use them. Quickly write 30 degrees in radians, 60 degrees in radians, 45 degrees in radians, 90 degrees in radians. Quickly write. Okay, so I think let's give the interval then, right? You can write these things. Okay, so this is the idea for the interval. I mean, we actually don't need an interval. But anyways, I mean, have to give an interval. So write these things in radians. If anyone needs, I'll explain them again. Okay, write these things in radians. Then you have a pink color paper with some nice questions. You will receive a bunch of questions like this, maybe once a week or two. Okay, it will keep getting harder. Okay, these questions will keep getting harder. There are some nice questions because we should grow two aspects. We should learn science, and at the same time we should develop our brain such that we can perceive and understand science. So every day we do some nice and fun and difficult questions to improve our thinking capacity. Okay, so that's why this paper. Okay, that's why this paper. Okay, online students, you can get the tute from the resources, from the group, or from the YouTube live chat. Okay, from the YouTube live chat. So of that, try question after this. Do these things, then try of that tute. Try question 1. There's a tute called How Smart Are You Really? You're not actually smart if you finish this, but it's just the name of the tute. So this is the first one. Sorry, by the way. Try first. And maybe the 10th one. First and 10th one. First and 10th one. Try these two. After this, I'll give you the interval. Take the interval and quickly start this. So its time is 5:25. Be here by 5:45. Take a small interval. Be here, then start doing these questions. Online students, if you can't find the tute, let us know. Should be available in the resources section of the webinar, should be available in the YouTube live, and should be available in the groups too. Okay, and everyone, there will be a can we give them the feedback forms quickly? So give feedback forms from here. Okay, don't start to distribute, give them from here. So you will get a feedback form. I need few stuff. I don't know your speed and everything, so you have to fill that feedback form. Then we can have a good idea whether we are doing it properly, whether we have to speed up, whether we have to slow down, what is good, what is bad. We have to know everything and your information too. And you will receive another paper with the QR code. Scan that QR and join the group if you are not in the group. Okay, scan that QR and join the group if you are not in the group. And online students, send a message to this number to receive the tutes. Send a message to this number to receive the tutes. And at the same time, if you need to join the group, group links will be available in the webinar chat now and the YouTube live chat now. Okay, in the webinar chat and the YouTube live chat, the group links will be available. And in the group, you will find a community link. Sorry, channel link. Okay, a channel link, a WhatsApp channel. Join that channel, everyone. Join that channel, everyone, because all the resources will be available in that channel. Recordings, tunes, every upcoming stuff will be available in that WhatsApp channel. So join that channel. That channel link will be available in the WhatsApp community by today. Okay. So take your interval, be here on time and start doing the questions and ask if you have any questions. I'll be here. Okay. I'll be around here anyways. If you don't need the interval, we can start again. check, check, check. Camera. So there were a bunch of questions in the interval. Can I start? There was a bunch of questions in the interval. I stay in the class in the interval, so anyone can come and ask questions. Okay? කාට හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න මම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පිටිපස්සේ ඉන්න interval එකේ. Okay? So if you have questions, come and ask in the interval too. Like then one question was, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? I wrote theta radian equals S over radians. Radians to radians cancelled out. No, it's just the unit, okay? It's just the unit. That means theta means the magnitude of the radian angle, and this is the unit. That means this is the magnitude. This is the unit. That is the meaning of this, okay? So magnitude is given by S over R, okay? Magnitude is given by S over R. Then radians means radians. This is the unit, okay? Okay, it's not like radians to radian cancels out, okay? That's not how it works. Got the idea? Theta means S over R, the magnitude of the angle. This is radians, okay? That's how units works actually, okay? You have a magnitude, then the unit, okay? You have a magnitude, then the unit, okay? Yeah? That's how it works. And other thing, okay? And other thing, someone asked, okay, how can I call them fundamental? How can I call these things fundamentals? I mean, I can't call mass a fundamental. Why? I can't call mass a fundamental. Why? I mean, mass can be taken as by F over A, right? Mass can be taken by F over A. So I can derive, right? I mean, then you can derive any fundamental quantity, okay? Then you can derive, I mean, you use fundamental quantities and derived physical quantities. Then you can just shift the equation here and there and derive the fundamental using that. That doesn't work like that, okay? That doesn't work like that. Why? Actually, force was defined later. Okay? Mass is a fundamental quantity. And using mass and this later force was defined. Okay? But just because you can write something like this, okay, doesn't mean that this can't be a fundamental, okay? Clear? I mean, you use fundamentals, then derive the physical quantity, derive the derived physical quantity, okay? Then you can definitely shift the equation here and there and create an equation for that fundamental and call, okay, this can't be fundamental. I have an equation for this. No, that doesn't work like that, okay? M came first, okay? M came first. Using that and this, we derived F. So just because you can write it as F over A, this can't be M. That's how all the other fundamental physical quantities were defined, okay? Moles, okay? Like, you can define moles, you can define current, V equals IR. Using V equals IR, you can write I equals V over R, okay? Or else you can write current equals charge over time. Like this, you can write bunch of stuff, okay? But no, when they were creating the SI system, okay? When they were creating the SI system, I came first. Then came V and R, then came Ohm's law, V equals IR, okay? I came first. Then when they were analyzing when they were analyzing the current, they identified, okay, there's something called V, the potential difference. There's something called R, the resistance. Then later came V equals IR. Just because you can write it like this, doesn't mean that this is not a fundamental, okay? Clear? You can just write an equation, okay, this can't be fundamental, okay? That's not how it works. But it's a good question actually, a very valid question, right? Okay. Moving forward, this stuff. So online students, if you have a mobile phone now, send a message to this, okay? If you have a mobile phone now, send a message to this, because now we are starting to pack the tubes, okay? Now we are starting the tube delivery process, okay? So now if possible, send the message, okay? now just don't go and start sending a WhatsApp message, but as soon as possible, yes, we finish packing by tonight, then we start delivering by tomorrow. Okay, moving forward, this. So 1 degree equals pi over 180 radians. Okay, then 30 degrees means what? 30. Okay, 1 degree means pi over 180. Yeah, got the idea? That means, the idea is 30 degrees means 1 degree into 30. Yeah, 30 degrees means 1 degree into 30. Only zoom here. 30 degrees means 1 degree into 30. Then that means what is 1 degree? 1 degree is pi over 180. 1 degree means pi over 180. Clear? 1 degree means pi over 180 into 30. Okay? 1 degree means pi over 180. Then into 30, you get what? 0 cancels out. Then you get 6 here. So you get pi over 6. You get pi over 6 radians. Okay? You get pi over 6 radians. Got the idea? Like this, you get pi over 6 radians. This is 30 degrees. Then again, I can write 60 degrees as pi over 180 into 60. You can write 60 degrees as pi over 180 into 60, which gives you pi over 3 radians, which gives you pi over 3 radians. Then if we get 45 degrees, we get pi over 180, pi over 180 into 45, pi over 180 into 45. Then you get this 1, then this is 4, right? 45 into 4 gives you 180, right? 45 into 4 gives you 180. So you get pi over 4 radians. Pi over 4 radians. Then 90 degrees. 90 degrees equals what? Pi over 180. Pi over 180. Pi over 180 into 90. So you get 2 here. So you get pi over 2 radians. Okay. You get pi over 2 radians. Can we get the feedback forms? Okay. Let's start. Just start filling the feedback forms. Okay. If you have time, start filling the feedback forms. If you have any questions, ask from the invigilators. Okay. If you have any questions, ask from invigilators. And did anyone who didn't get this? Anyone who didn't get this? And just give your forms to our invigilators. Let's start. Let's do a few questions of this. Okay. There are quite fascinating questions. Okay, I'll answer them. Okay. And if you have any questions, ask from the invigilators. Online students will provide you information on how to contact online invigilators. From next week onwards, the WhatsApp hotline will be available, so you can ask a question anytime. And the WhatsApp assistance will be available, so you can send a message and get the answer anytime. And the online invigilators will be available. Okay, all information will be provided. Anyone who didn't get this? Request from people. Okay. Okay, be silent, everyone. Pay attention. Pay attention. Yeah, pay attention. Okay. So, a cable of 80 meter. Question 1. Online students, hope you have this tute. Okay. Hope you have this tute. You can find it from the webinar. You can find it from the webinar. You can get it from the YouTube live chat. You can get it from the groups. Mali. Mamidu. We have the tute, right? This one available online, everyone. Okay. Check the YouTube live and the Zoom. Continuously check that. Okay. First question. Pay attention. Be silent, everyone. Be silent. Okay. A cable of 80 meter is hanging from the top of two poles that are both 50 meters from the ground. What is the distance between the poles if the midpoint of the cable is 10 meters above the ground? Students who got the answer? Online students, put a message if you got the answer for the first one. Okay, we have a few students. Nice. Students who got the answer, raise your hand properly. Cool. Cool. So what is the answer? Height of a pole is 50 meters. Height of a pole is 50 meters. Then here also you have 50 meters. Okay. Here also you have 50 meters. We connect a cable of 80 meters here. Okay. We connect a cable of 80 meters here. And its midpoint is 10 meters above the ground. Okay. Be silent. Its midpoint is 10 meters above the ground, right? They are telling that its midpoint is 10 meters above the ground. Then the question is, how far they are, right? What is the distance between them? What is the distance between them? X. Ideally, this should be 0, right? X should be 0, right? Why? I mean, the length of this rope is 80 meters, okay? Length of this rope is 80 meters. Clear? Then definitely length of one side should be, the length of one side should be 40 meters. Okay? Length of the rope is 80 meters. So definitely half of it is 40. Clear? Then you need this gap to be 10. You need this gap to be 10 while this is 50. The height of a pole is 50. Half of a rope is 40. Then the height from the bottom is 10. I mean 40 plus 10 is 50, right? 40 plus 10 is 50. Got the idea? What is 50? It is 40 plus 10, right? So what you should have is something like this. The rope should look like this. The rope should look like this, right? Why? Half of it is 40. Half of the rope is 40. Then this is 50. This is 50. Then only this can be 10, right? then only this can be 10. It is a direct linear relationship, right? It is a direct linear relationship. 40 plus 10 is 50, okay, nothing else. So the wire can't bend like this and give a linear 40. Clear? So the system should look like this. They should be touching each other. Then only the cable will be linear. Then only you have half of the cable 40, another half of the cable 40. Then the height of the pole is 50. This is 40, this is 50, then this is 10, right? Clear? Got the idea? Write this down. You don't have to actually write anything. You just have to understand, okay? Clear? Got the idea? Clear? Because it's two poles, okay? So ideally, one pole should be like this, and the other should be like this. Other should be like this, okay? Then only you will have the cable like this, okay? Then only you will have the cable like this. Then only you will have the cable like this, which is 40. 40. Height of a pole is 50. Then only the bottom part will be at a height of 10. Then only the bottom part will be at a height of 10. Okay? Clear? Then only the height of the bottom part will be at a height of 10. Got the idea? Anyone? Questions? Anyone? Let's move to question 10 then. Try question 10. Try question 10. Every day we'll try a few questions like this. I got the correct answers from a lot of online students, which is quite good. Yes, it becomes the denominator. It's correct. Go through the questions. Wait. Go up. And your level of knowledge in O levels won't matter here, okay? That means whether you were a good student or a bad student in O levels have minimum impact here, okay? That you have to understand, because this is an entirely new domain. That means everything you learned in O level is like, I mean, the whole science syllabus you learned is like 0.1% of our physics syllabus, okay? So you were good or bad means you were good at 1.1%, or you were bad at 0.1%. Anyways, that 0.1% doesn't matter, okay? So this is just a new beginning, okay? This is a huge syllabus, a lot of content. Gap is huge. That's why it's called ordinal level, and this is called the advanced level. So were you good at science or were you bad at science? Doesn't matter, because it's only 0.1%. Okay? You were good at 0.1% or you were bad at 0.1%. Nobody cares, okay? So you can start from beginning now, okay? So you were good at O levels doesn't mean you will be good in A levels. You have to work for that from the beginning. Okay, you were bad at O levels doesn't mean that you won't be performing in A levels. It's just a new beginning, okay? So work properly from day one. You'll like get everything you need, okay? So that is the idea. Try question 10, everyone. And you're lucky that A level doesn't depend on O levels, okay? So I mean, it's just a new beginning. It's not the same thing in the university, okay? You do things very well in A levels, your university life becomes easy, okay? If you don't perform very well here, you don't do things well, you don't understand things well, then you can't understand things happening in the university, okay? It's like you are lucky that nothing happened in O level doesn't matter here, okay? Here, it's just a new beginning, so just work properly from day one, okay? Work properly from day one. Question 10. Question 10. Do we have answers? Do we have answers? Cool, cool. Nice. Yes, nice. Online students, answers? Raise your hand. Raise your hand means you have a button. Don't raise your hand. Online students, you have a button for that. I can't see if you raise your hand. 50 kilometers. Nice, nice. Lot of students got the correct answer. Nice. I mean, it need not to be correct, okay? You tried, you got an answer. It need not to be correct. That's the way of science, okay? You just make a lot of mistakes before you figure things out, okay? So just don't, I mean, pay attention. Like, from day one, this must happen. You may get an answer, you may not. You may understand things or may not. But whatever happens, you have to try and get some kind of answer. Because that's the nature of science. Initially, your answers will be wrong, but you are still trying. So your brain develops. It keeps happening. And when you keep trying and trying and trying, after a certain time, then all of a sudden your answers are correct. Okay, just because you can't figure things out, okay, you can't figure out the question. So you don't start writing anything. You don't start doing anything. Then you never move forward, okay? So you can't understand the question, still do something. Still write some definition, okay? Go here and there and try to come up with the answers. Do something, okay? Do something. You can't just look at the board and stay until I explain, okay? Because you have to take your brain for your exam, okay? And you need a lot of that in A levels, okay? You need a lot of that. So just work with the question. Try to come up with the answer, okay? It's okay if you're not getting the answer. I need you to try. I need everyone to try, okay? I need everyone to try in the class, okay? One day you will come up with correct answers. Until then, just try, okay? Until then, just try. Okay. Moving forward, pay attention, everyone. Pay attention. We have one ground rule in the class. You need to listen when I'm explaining, okay? You may be discussing a question or whatever, okay? But you have to listen when I'm explaining, okay? Otherwise, you will miss a lot, okay? I mean, sometimes you have the tendency of you still try to think, you still try to discuss with others. Even when I'm teaching, don't do that, okay? Have to listen when I'm explaining. Otherwise, you will miss a lot. After a certain time, when you are ready, I will let you do whatever you need, okay? But now you have to listen when I'm explaining. So 10, there are two trains, okay? There are two trains like this approaching each other, are traveling at velocities 30 kilometers per hour. This is 30 kilometers per hour. And the other one is 10 kilometers per hour. Other one is 10 kilometers per hour. We have 30 kilometers per hour and 10 kilometers per hour. A bird starts traveling from one train to the other train at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So the bird starts moving at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Okay. Initially, they are separated by a distance of 40 kilometers. Initially, they are separated by a distance of 40 kilometers. As soon as it meets the second train, the bird changes direction and flies towards the first train at the first speed. If the bird flies, if the bird flies from train to train continuously changing the direction in this manner, all the above speeds are relative to the ground. Find the total distance traveled by the bird in kilometers when the two trains collide. Okay, what happens is two trains are coming like this, okay? There's a bird moving here, 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 like this, okay? It keeps doing this, okay? It keeps doing this. Clear? Pay attention, stop talking. So even when the trains are really close, the bird keeps flying like this. Clear? Even when the trains are really close, the bird keeps flying like this. Got the idea? Bird keeps flying like this, very fast. Okay? Even when it is really close for the collision, even when it is really close to the collision, bird flies really fast. Okay? Got the idea? So he keeps doing this. He keeps doing this until the trains collide. Until the trains collide. Okay? Clear? Now, I'll go through the feedback forms. Quickly go through the feedback forms. I just need an overall idea. Yeah. And the feedback form for online students will be available in the group after the class. Okay. And provide the community links in the chats. Provide it everywhere. Provide the community link. Okay. Go through the feedback forms and just give me whatever, just let me know whatever important stuff that we should focus on. Pay attention. So, one of the best things about this class is I'm not old, okay? So I just keep learning, I just keep improving. So whatever the things mentioned in the feedback forms, if it is repeated, we are going to focus on that, okay? Within days, okay? I mean, and we correct everything, okay? And even the institute is supporting for that, okay? The bulb wasn't working, now it's working, okay? Before the interval it wasn't working, now it's working. Whatever the things happens, okay? Whatever issue you are facing, you just have to inform within 1 or 2 days. We are going to clarify that. I'm too fast, okay? I'm too fast. We are going to work on that within days. I'm too slow. Just let me know. We'll correct that within days. Okay. Whatever the issue, just don't tell me I'm too short. Can't help. Okay. But I mean, but anything else that can be changed? Yes, within days. Okay. Anything in the institute will be changed within days. Okay. We are very responsive and really fast. Okay. Because I mean, I'm not old, so I can change. I can change really fast. Okay. So just let us know, okay? Be honest when you are filling feedback forms, because we are going to take serious everything, okay? We are going to take, I mean, when all the students are talking about, okay, the speed is good. If one student is, okay, you are too slow, can't help again, okay? But I mean, if something is repeated, we definitely take that serious and will be changed within days, okay? That's how the class moves forward, okay? So that's how our class reached this level actually, okay? We are just starting one batch today, okay? We had an overall count of close to 600 combining, not 600, above 600. We have a YouTube live running, a Zoom webinar running, physical class here. So it's close to 700, only one batch. Okay, only one batch. Okay, there are 2 batches like that. We are starting the other batch on Monday evening. So yes, we grew really fast, okay? We grew really fast. Why? We can change, okay? So, I mean, be serious with the feedback forms always, okay? So, now, here, and for the internet connection also, I informed them. So from next week onwards, we will have 2 fiber optic connections running. Okay. So I mean, if 2 fiber optics and Starlink goes down at the same time, can't help. You guys are unlucky. You are not. I mean, You do not deserve to learn something like that, okay? Can't help, okay? Online people, sorry about that. If two fiber optics goes down at the same time and the Starlink goes down, can't help, okay? I'll come to your houses and explain then. Nothing else I could do. Okay. And it's a giga fiber. So will never go down, but it goes down. Okay. So here, I mean, if I think about, okay, going from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, if I think it like that, it's not going to happen, okay? But luckily, they are not asking the displacement, they are asking the distance, okay? Luckily, they are just asking the distance traveled by the bird. They are just asking the distance traveled by the bird. So what is the speed? What is the definition of speed? I'm just using the common symbols, okay? What is the definition of speed? Definition of speed is distance over time. Definition of speed is distance over time, okay? Then what is speed? Sorry, what is distance? Speed into time. You know this stuff, right? From all levels? Yes. So speed equals distance over time. So distance equals speed into time. Clear? Then what is the speed of the bird? What is the speed of the bird? 50 kilometers per hour. I'm just writing the units for now. You don't need to write units like this. You just have to write the unit and at the final answer. But I'm writing just for the convenience. Kilometers per hour. So if I can write the time here, in hours, okay? If I can write the time here in hours, per hour and hour will cancel out and I will get the answers in kilometers. That will be the distance traveled by the bird, right? Clear? I mean, bird was, I don't care whether he was going in this direction or this direction. It was continuously moving with a speed of 50, okay? It was continuously moving with a speed of 50, okay? And I just have to multiply it by a time to get the distance, right? Speed into time gives me the distance, right? Speed into time gives me the distance, okay? So the bird was continuously flying with a speed of 50 and I just need to find the time. Then I would get the distance traveled, right? Then I would get the distance traveled, clear? So now I need, pay attention, stop talking. Now I just need to find the time it takes for the trains to collide. That's all. Why? The bird is flying until the trains collide. Okay, so the time is the time until the trains collide. So this is 40 kilometers, 30 kilometers and 10 kilometers per hour and 30 kilometers per hour. So within 1 hour they will collide, right? Why? Why? I mean, your parents are there. Okay. Don't disturb the neighbors. Ask your parents not to disturb the neighbors. See? Okay. See? Okay. So now, within 1 hour, this guy will move 30 kilometers, right? That is the meaning of 30 kilometers per hour. Their gap is 40 kilometers, okay? Their gap is 40 kilometers. Within 1 hour, this guy will move 30 kilometers, right? Within 1 hour, this guy will move 30 kilometers. Clear? Clear? Within 1 hour, this guy will move 10 kilometers. That is the meaning of 10 kilometers per hour. Okay? Within 1 hour, this guy will move 30 kilometers. That is the meaning of 30 kilometers per hour. Within 1 hour, this guy will move 10 kilometers. That is the meaning of 10 kilometers per hour. 30 plus 10, you get 40, right? 30 plus 10, you get 40. Got the idea? 30 plus 10, overall you get what? You get 40. So it takes only 1 hour, okay? It takes only 1 hour for them to collide, okay? It takes only 1 hour for them to collide. Got the idea? Time until collision, okay? Time until collision is 1 hour. So within this 1 hour, the bird is flying. Okay. So the speed of the bird is 50 kilometers per hour. Speed of the bird is 50 kilometers per hour. And time is 1 hour. Time is 1 hour. Got the idea? Then the answer is per hour and hour cancels out. You get 50 kilometers. Okay. So the bird is flying a distance of 50 kilometers. So should you be able to do these things to be able to do science? No. But will you be able to do this kind of stuff when you are done with science? Yes. Okay. So don't worry if you are not able to decode these questions. Okay. I mean, if everything you do, if everything we do here, if you understand, if you directly get the answer, then we can't call this advanced level. Okay. Every day there will be a bunch of questions that you can't understand. Okay. Every day there will be some questions which you can't figure out. That is the whole point of doing science. Why? Every week when that happens, your brain starts struggling with that. Okay. Your brain starts struggling with that. With that friction, your brain starts developing. Okay. Your brain starts developing slowly. Okay. Then after a few months, even you may not understand how the hell you are getting these answers. Okay. You just get answers. Okay. You just get the answers for the questions. You just understand stuff all of a sudden. You don't know what happened, but it is a slow process. Okay. That is the nature of science. So pay attention. Pay attention. So should you be able to get the answers for these questions? No, definitely not. Okay. My job is to bring at least a few questions that you are not unable to understand every week. That's when I can call me a science teacher. Okay. Clear? So every day there will be a set of questions you can't understand. Sometimes you may not even understand that after the class. So you go home and try to figure that out. That process builds your brain. After 6 months, maybe 4 months, 3 months, you understand everything. Okay. That is the process of science. Okay. So don't worry if you are not getting answers. Okay. Don't worry if you are not understanding things. Okay. That is the whole point of doing science. You try to struggle with the things that you are not understanding. That is science. Okay. That is science. You struggle with the things, struggle with the theorems, struggle with the questions that you are not understanding. Okay. That is science. Got the idea, everyone? So it's okay if you are not getting answers for the questions. Okay. Clear? That tute is hard. Don't try that. Every week, let's try 2 questions. Okay. If you are capable, finish that. Otherwise, don't even look at that tute. Okay. Single page. Don't even look at that. If you are capable, finish. Otherwise, every week we'll do few questions just for the sake of improving our thinking capacity. Okay. Clear? So don't worry if you can't understand. Online students, send a message to that number. Okay. Send a message to that number. That number will be available in the group too. It will be available in the communities. Send a message. Then you will receive the tutes. Next week we have the class at the same time. But when the school started, we will shift it a bit backwards so that you can come here after the class. Okay. After school. So it will happen. So let's meet next week. Just read the note, go through your short note, and come to the class next week. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining, and wish you all the very best with this new journey. Thank you.